Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. We've got two wild hearings lined up. A Karen who believes breaking the law is fine since everyone else does it, and a guy who talks his way out of fines only to land a 6-month jail sentence. First up, let's dive into the Karen's Meltdown.
File number 25B148321, and it should be Officer Paul. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Your name?
Officer Paul, Brownstown Township.
Where is Ms. Merkerson? You're going to have to start your video, please. Bottom left-hand corner of your screen.
Yes, Your Honor. Angel Merkerson.
Okay, stay right there. Who are all these people around you?
I'm at work.
So I want to just see you and we'll go from there, okay? The officer is here. He's ready to have the hearing. Do you still wish to proceed to the hearing, ma'am?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you, officer, and you, ma'am, both to raise your right hands. You solemnly swear affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you'll give in these proceedings will be the whole truth, so help you God. Officer?
I do.
Ms. Merkerson?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead, officer.
On March 18th of this year at approximately 9:03 a.m., I was on patrol in Brownstown Township, working in OHSP seatbelt detail. At that time, I observed Ms. Merkerson operating her motor vehicle wearing her seatbelt underneath her armpit and proper use of her seatbelt, and she was cited for the same.
Any questions of him?
All right. You say questions. Are you asking me, Your Honor?
Yeah, do you have any questions of him, of the officer?
No, my only question was, my concern was that I had on my seatbelt and I told him me reaching for my beverage, by me being short, my seatbelt naturally wants to come here. And if it's over my shoulder, when I go to reach for my drink, it's in the way. So I thought it would be just a warning. I'm like, I got a good driving record. I did have my seatbelt on, but that was my only question.
But you can't wear it like that though, ma'am.
I don't wear it like that. I was just grabbing my beverage and I literally had put my seatbelt under my arm. Like I said, I felt personally, this is me, I'm not saying that it's right, but I felt like that should have just been a warning, being that I did have my seatbelt on when there's people that don't.
Arguing for leniency, because others break the law is never a solid strategy, especially when, in making your case, you accidentally admit to the very crime you're accused of. And honestly, my Humau detector went off the charts when she claimed she had to put her seatbelt under her arm just to grab her drink with her left hand, instead of simply using her right. The judge isn't buying her huge.
I mean, the fact that some people choose to violate laws.
But my defense is I was practicing the law. It's just that I did, as he said, okay, but it wasn't on properly. It was buckled. If I had had it holding it with my arm, but it really wasn't buckled, then I feel like that would have been okay, that's a violation. I didn't know that me putting it under my arm to reach for my beverage would cause me to get a ticket. I had no idea. So to me, I didn't see them give people warnings for lesser things. My seatbelt was buckled up. It just wasn't across my shoulder when he.
You're not wearing it properly, ma'am. That's not wearing it properly.
And Your Honor, if I may,
Yeah.
she did receive 2 verbal warnings, one for her plate of her vehicle showing no insurance on it, and she received a warning for a tinted license plate cover.
My vehicle had insurance from the day that you pulled me over before then.
Wait. Let him finish.
Oh, okay, okay, no problem.
Wait.
So again, when I ran the plate during that traffic stop, it didn't show her vehicle was uninsured. I did not confirm or verify that because I wasn't taking action on it. She was receiving a verbal warning for it anyway. But from what I could see in my system, it was showing that her vehicle was uninsured at the time, which she did receive a verbal warning for, in addition to the tinted license plate cover that she had.
Okay, now can I speak?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have another vehicle that was registered under the same plate. So I guess in transference, the state probably didn't have it updated, but I definitely had insurance. He never asked for a copy. So to say that I got a verbal warning, he never asked for my insurance to see if I had it or not. So I don't know how, because I have proof of everything. I made sure of that. I don't drive a vehicle without having proof of insurance. I couldn't take that car off the lot without proof of insurance. The only thing he asked me was that car mine. And I said, yes, this car is mine. It's insured in my name, and I am the only owner. I never got a warning about anything with insurance because we never discussed my insurance, because that was never the issue. The only thing that officer stated to me was that because I asked him when he pulled me over specifically, because I was praising God. I was in praise and worship listening to a Pacific song. And I asked him, I said, excuse me, can I ask you why I'm being pulled over? Because I thought I was following all proper protocol. I knew my car had been registered. I knew that I had just transferred it from another vehicle off the plate at the dealership. They said that I could use the same plate and everything was properly done. I had all that proof in my glove box. I had my insurance. So I knew I wasn't being pulled over for those reasons. So when he said my seatbelt,
That's absolutely, you're right, but in many states, appealing a civil citation requires paying an appeal bond equal to the fine amount. So, if you can't afford the ticket itself, chances are you won't be able to cover the cost of the appeal bond either.
I was trying to stop you. Why weren't you stopping?
I didn't hear you say ma'am. I hear you now.
Okay, good. All right, so listen. That insurance, I don't even need to hear about. I don't need to hear about the tinted window. He didn't write those, but you're responsible of seatbelt violation. I'm sorry. I find you responsible $65. Can you pay that today?
No, I cannot.
When can you pay it?
I don't. I'm unsure.
Where do you work?
At a hair salon.
Well, you got to give me a date when you can pay this, ma'am.
Am I able to fight this further? Because I don't agree.
Yeah, you can pay.
Okay. Well, I would
Get it, Judge? Everyone wants things their way and loves to heast when it doesn't happen, just like the next guy who somehow talks his way out of fines and non-reporting probation straight into a 6-month jail sentence.
Anybody listening to this knew you weren't going to agree. Hang on.
all the people that I work
I'm
with feel like it was
out.
petty.
I'm
All the people
out.
that I work with feel like it was petty. And even
Young
the
lady,
court,
do
the
not
secretary at the court.
interrupt me. Do not interrupt me.
Am I free to speak or not?
No, you're not. I've already heard you. I heard everything you had to say. I'm not about to argue with you.
I'm not arguing with you, sir.
Look,
I'm an adult. I'm an adult just like you are.
Question, and I'm going to tell you the answer. You can appeal this decision. You have to post the bond. Is it 7 days or 14 days, Lisa? Remind me.
I believe it's 7.
May 1, you have to pay by, and you tell them, I want to appeal that decision. You pay your $65, and then they will set it in front of the other judge, and you can tell the other judge your story, and maybe she'll agree with you. I don't know what else I can tell you.
That's all I need to hear. You don't have to tell me anything else. You have a wonderful day.
I May 1. Good luck to you. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Devon Michael Huff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What is happening in this world? People think they can argue about everything. Devon Michael Huff, 24T642-304. Everybody else violates the law, so let me go.
But I just plead guilty, so I can and set me up on a payment plan, so I can, because I have to be at work at 2:30, and
Well, I have to get the prosecutor on here. I'm not sure where she is. We are on the record in the 13th Judicial District, the District Court of Greenwood County, Kansas. This comes on for first appearance this April 29th, 2025. Mr. Lockett is asked to be first on the docket to get back to, I think he said work. They're on the record in 2025 TR84. Mr. Lockett, you're charged with 3 counts. In count 1, you're charged with speeding 85 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. This is a traffic infraction. It does not carry any jail time. But if you were to be convicted for speeding 85 in a 65, your fine would be $105. You'd also be assessed court costs of $108. In count 2, you're charged with driving with unlawful registration or expired tag. That is an unclassified misdemeanor. Maximum penalties include a fine up to $2,500 and a possible 30-day, 6-month jail sentence, although that's usually somewhere around a $50 fine with probation. In count 3, you're charged with driving without liability insurance or able to provide proof. That's a B misdemeanor. If convicted, you'd have to serve 6 months maximum, but again, probation is an option, so you wouldn't have to serve the time unless you violated probation. There's a mandatory minimum fine of $300 up to $1,000. Now, you said you wanted to resolve this today, or are you aware?
The officer, actually, the officer, I wasn't even, he was way in front of me before I even passed him. He was probably a mile, half a mile ahead in front of
They
me.
got
He
me
said I was
on
going.
this. I didn't get pulled over for no ticket.
All right, y'all need to be quiet if it's not your time. Mr. Lockett, while we're
He said,
interrupted, you need to show me your face. Can you please remove your hair from your face?
this guy said that I was,
Get you
he said that
identified
I was going, he said that I was going 85, but I wasn't going 85.
on the docket, so you could pay your fines. I thought that meant you were going to admit. You do have the right to a trial, and we can do that if you plead not guilty. We'll set this for trial at a later date, and you will have the time to challenge the state's officers that testify, and you can testify on your own behalf if you want to. You can't be compelled to, but if you want to. So are you wanting to plead not guilty and set these for trial?
Yeah, I'm pleading not guilty because I know I wasn't going 85. He was way in front of me. So how do you see I
All
was
right,
going 85? What you,
we'll enter a plea of not guilty and set these for trial. On the B misdemeanor, do you want to hire an attorney, apply for court appointed, or represent yourself?
I represent myself.
You don't want to
I,
have,
I, I, I'll admit to the no tags and no insurance, but I wasn't speeding. I wasn't going 85.
all right, Ms. Gillette, did you hear his comments just now? He will admit insurance and no tags. He just wants to contest the speeding. Does the state take any position on that?
Judge, if he wants to admit to the expired tag and the no insurance, I can dismiss the speeding and you can give me Miss Fine's court cost and information today.
Okay. All right, so they're willing to dismiss that speeding, Mr. Lockett, if you pursue that guilty plea to the insurance and tags. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right, now before I get to your plea, I need to back up to the question about the attorney. Do you understand that you can hire an attorney? If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply for court appointed, or you can waive attorney and proceed to represent yourself today. Do you want to
I
represent?
said I plead guilty to the, I said I would plead guilty to the
Right.
no tax and insurance. I mean,
Okay, and sir, I'll be happy to entertain that in due time. But before I do, I have to find out if you understand your rights to an attorney and if you wish to proceed without an attorney. I just need to get that on the record if that's how you want to proceed. You want to proceed on your own behalf today?
on my own behalf, I don't need a attorney.
Okay. All right, well, I'll show that you're waiving your right to counsel on record, and I'll ask that be in the docket notes and the journal entry. Now, how do you plead to count 2 driving in Greenwood County on March 1st, 2025 without a tag, a valid tag?
I mean, it was a valid tag. It was just expired. I mean, it's proof I was, but I know for a fact that I wasn't going 85.
Well,
And the
85.
officer had an attitude and everything.
All right, well, they're dismissing the 85 upon plea to counts 2 and 3. And speaking of count 3, how do you plead to driving that day without proof of liability insurance?
Just plead me guilty. I gotta go. Just give me guilty. It don't matter. Just I pay. Just set me up with a fine.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you were in fact guilty of driving without tags and insurance on March 1st of 25?
I didn't have tags. I didn't have insurance, and my tags was expired. I was driving with expired tags.
All right, and no one's making you into this plea today? You're doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
All right, and the officer's citation said you were driving on Highway 400 at milepost 339 in Butler County. Would you agree with that? Or I'm sorry, in Greenwood County. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And would you agree that this happened on March 1st of 2025?
I don't remember.
Okay, but that's what your evidence would show, Ms. Gillette.
Yes, Your Honor, March 1st.
All right, I accept your pleas, finding them freely and voluntarily, knowingly entered, finding you guilty of counts 2 and 3, dismissing count 1, speeding. So we'll proceed to your sentencing. Recommendations for sentencing, Ms. Gillette.
Your Honor, I would recommend on count 2, we'll dismiss count 1, recommend on count 2, the expired tag, no jail time, a fine of $75, which is the statutory fine, court cost of $108. On count 3, there's always like a required underlying. I would recommend 5 days underlying suspended for non-reporting probation, and he have the standard fine, and the court cost has already been mentioned. So that's what I would recommend.
So for the underlying, you're recommending 5 days?
Yeah, that's what the minimum is.
Okay.
5 days.
Is there anything you want to say about your sentence before I determine what it is? She told me what she's asking for. Would you like to ask for anything or recommend anything?
She said 5 days. What?
That's what she said. Do you have anything you want to say before I tell you what your
Yeah.
sentence is?
I didn't really hear what she said. I just heard her say 5 days. What is that?
All right. Well, I'm going to proceed to tell you your sentence. She made recommendations, but I make the actual sentence. Mr. Lockett, on count 2, there is no jail time, but there is a fine of $75 that you must pay. On count, no, I said that. Did I say that wrong? No, that's right. And then count 3, the insurance charge, there is a minimum required fine of $300. You're ordered to pay that. I could go up to 6 months jail time on the insurance, but Ms. Gillette is asking for 5 days. I will order you to serve 5 days, but that will be suspended. You won't have to serve it as long as you successfully complete a 6-month non-reporting probation.